Alright, we are back. Um, I'm quickly gonna try my best to give you guys my Pro Bowl votings. So who I think should make the Pro Bowl. Alright, so apparently for quarterback, I gotta pick 6. I'd assume 3 from each conference. So uh I am going to go to NFL. He should be right there. Yep. Tom Brady's one of them. Um Now this may come as a shocker to some of you guys. I'm gonna take Derek Carr as well. Then I'm also going to take Matthew Stafford. So there's 2 NFCs right there. And for my final NFC quarterback, I probably should have just started with NFC. I don't know where they have him rated. Jeez, all the way down here. Also, Colin Kaepernick's on the Dolphins. I'm going to take Kirk Cousins. Next in AFC, I already picked Carr. I'm going to take Justin Herbert. I don't know where he'd be rated at in this. Jeez, 87? Well, I guess he progressed in this. And I am finally going to take Patrick Mahomes. Currently, Tom Brady's stats: 3,771 passing yards, 34 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Derek Carr is 3,663 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Matthew Stafford is 3,611 yards, 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Justin Herbert's 3,547 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes is 3,384 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 3,353 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Okay. Now, for running back, we're going to start out with the AFC. Unfortunately, I can't pick guys like Derrick Henry. But for the AFC, gotta pick 6 again, so I'd assume 3 per conference. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, and Nick Chubb. Jonathan Taylor, 1,348 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, averages 6 yards per attempt. Joe Mixon, 978 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns, 5 yards per attempt. And Nick Chubb, 867 rushing yards, 6 yards per attempt. And next, we do go with NFC. In the NFC, I'm going to take players Antonio Gibson, Dalvin Cook, and Ezekiel Elliott. Antonio Gibson, 800 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 yards per attempt. Dalvin Cook, 773 rushing yards, 5 yards per attempt, and 4 touchdowns. He's also missed, I believe, like 2 weeks. And Ezekiel Elliott, 765 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, and 5 yards per attempt. And honorable mentions, because I can't pick everyone here. In the AFC, Najee Harris was 779 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 yards per carry. And in the NFC, Elijah Mitchell was 759 rushing yards, 5 yards per attempt, and 5 touchdowns. Next, we go to, we'll do fullback first. Apparently, I had to pick 3 of them. I'm not really going to go over these. I'm just going to say, I'm going to take C.J. Ham, Keith Smith, and whoever this Lions fullback is, J. Kabinda. And in the AFC, I'm going to go M. Burton, Patrick Ricard, and Andy Janovich. Apparently. Alright. Now, it's time for wide receivers. Alright. I get to pick 6. Okay, I'm going to do 3 per conference. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, and Deebo Samuel. Honorable mention to Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp, 1,366 yards, 14 yards per attempt, 11 touchdowns, and 100 receptions. Justin Jefferson, 1,209 yards, 78 receptions, 16 yards per attempt, 7 touchdowns. And Deebo Samuel, 1,006 yards, 56 receptions, 18 yards per attempt, and 5 touchdowns. Shout out to Devontae Adams, who is at 1,083 yards, 80 receptions, 14 yards attempt, 5 touchdowns. I just feel like Deebo is playing a bit better. And in the AFC, taken free, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Deontay Johnson. Jamar Chase, 958 yards, 55 receptions, 18 yards attempt, and 8 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 86 receptions, 954 yards, 12 yards per attempt, and 8 touchdowns. And Deontay Johnson, 914 yards, 76 receptions, 13 yards an attempt, and 6 touchdowns. Next, we go on to tight end. Once again, you have to pick 6. So I'm going to take Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, and Darren Waller. Travis Kelce, 848 yards, 70 receptions, 13 yards an attempt, 5 touchdowns. Mark Andrews, 811 yards, 64 receptions, 13 yards an attempt, 5 touchdowns. Darren Waller, 53 receptions, 643 yards, 13 yards an attempt, and 2 touchdowns. And in the NFC, Kyle Pitts, George Kittle. And this is a very close one, but I'm going to just take Dallas Goedert over TJ Hawkinson. So, Kyle Pitts, 709 yards, 49 receptions, 15 yards an attempt, and a touchdown. George Kittle, 44 receptions, 606 yards, 14 an attempt, and 5 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, 596, 41 receptions, 15 yards an attempt, and 4 touchdowns. Okay. Next we have tackle. I don't really pay attention to this, but I have to pick 6 of them apparently. There's no real stats. I'm just gonna go with the guys who are at the top, which is Teron Armstead, Beachum. I don't remember Kelvin Beachum and El Borum on the Bears. Teron Armstead on the Saints. Beachum on the Cardinals. Borum on the Bears, and then we'll go Garrett Bowles, Orlando Brown, and I believe Stephen Brown. Garrett Bowles on the Broncos, Orlando Brown on the Chiefs, and Stephen Brown on the Bills. Next, we have guard. We'll go with Joe Bitonio. I think he might have got injured in real life. Actually, did I pick everyone I could have in tackles? Yes, I did. All right. I recognize Akeem Adenji, but I believe he is a backup. So we'll go Joe Bitonio, Alex Kappa, Ezra Cleveland, Austin Corbett, James Daniel. Wait, no, we can't do that. That's 4. Alright, sorry, James Daniel. We'll go Nate Davis, and then we'll go Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. In the NFC, that is Alex Kappa on the Buccaneers, Ezra Cleveland on the Vikings, and Austin Corbett on the Rams. AFC, Nate Davis is on the Titans, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is on the Jets, and Joe Bitonio is on the Browns. Center. Oh, whoops. Center. We'll go David Andrews on the Patriots, Tyler Biadasz on the Cowboys, Bradley Bozeman on the Ravens, Garrett Bradbury on the Vikings, Jay Britt on the Texans, Okay, in the NFC, we'll go E. Brown on the lines. Why not? I don't really know all of this. Alright, now on to defense. Defensive ends, aka left ends, I guess, in this. Myles Garrett, 14 sacks, 23 solo. Tackles, I believe that is. We'll go Trey Hendrickson, 17 solo tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and 11.5 sacks. And Jay Greenyard on the Texans, 8 sacks, 19 solo tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Yannick Ngakoue is so close, but it just comes down to solo tackles in this, and Yannick and Greenyard has 8 more, so we'll go with him. Next, we'll go with Nick Bosa with 12 sacks, 30 solo, 3 forced fumbles. Brian Burns, 8 sacks, 23 solo, 2 forced fumbles. And Marcus Davenport, 5.5 sacks, 17 solo, 1 forced fumble. Next, we'll go to D tackle. Wrong one. Alright. It's taking a while to load. Alright. Once again, 6. We'll go Javon Hargrave, who has 7.5 sacks, 22 solo, 1 forced fumble. Aaron Donald, 7 sacks, 16 solo tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Jonathan Howard, 15 solos, 6.5 sacks, and 0. Okay, and then on the AFC, Justin Simmons, I believe, or it might be Jeffrey Simmons, 7.5 sacks, 29 solo tackles. Cameron Hayward, who has 6.5 sacks, 27 solo, and 1 FF. And Chris Jones, 6.5 sacks, 12 solo. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to switch that up. We're not going to go Chris Jones. We're going to go Quentin Williams with 6 sacks, 26 solo tackles, and 0 FF. Okay, now inside linebacker. I believe that it would be a middle linebacker in this game. Taking a lot of load. Okay. In the AFC, we'll go Denzel Perriman with 78 solo sacks, or tackles. There's not really many. Bobby Okereke with 53 solo tackles and a sack. And CJ Mosley with 50 solo tackles and a sack. Actually, no, we won't. That's CJ Mover. We'll go K. Gruger Hill on the Texans. 49 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 2 FF. And on the NFC, we'll go Roquan Smith with 68 solo tackles, 3 sacks. We'll go Devin White, 65 solo tackles, 2 sacks. And we'll go Devondre Campbell with 61 solo tackles, a sack, and 2 FF. Next, we have outside linebacker. I don't know, let's go left. There's the man up there. I believe this would count. Alright, TJ Watt, not even a question. Matthew Judon, not even a question. Alright, TJ Watt, 16 sacks, 30 solo tackles, and Matthew Judon, 12.5 sacks, 25 solo tackles. We'll also take Harold Landry, who has 10 sacks, 35 solo tackles. And in the NFC, we'll go Robert Quinn, Hassan Reddick, and Maurice Golden, I believe his name is. Robert Quinn, 11 sacks, 26 solo tackles. Hassan Reddick, 10.5 sacks, 28 solo tackles. And M. Golden, 10 sacks, 21 solo tackles. Next, cornerback. This would load. Taking quite a while. Alright, cornerbacks. I hate to say this. We'll go Trayvon Diggs, who has 9 interceptions, 32 solo tackles. He really shouldn't be voted, but it's fine. Amani Oruwariye with 5 interceptions, 37 tackles. And we'll go Byron Murphy with, no, I said Byron Murphy, not him. 4 interceptions, 32 tackles, and half a sack. And in the AFC, J.C. Jackson, who has 7 interceptions, 33 solo tackles. Xavier Howard, 4 interceptions, 27 solo tackles. And Patrick Surtain II with 4 interceptions, 31 solo tackles. Close second to Kenny Moore. I just can't quite pick you, Kenny, because for a rookie, Xavier Howard, strong safety first in this, apparently, if it would load. And then we have Derwin James, Jonathan Abram, and Von Bell, who I'm going to take. Derwin James, 62 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. Jonathan Abram, 49 solo tackles and an interception. Von Bell, 48 solo tackles, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles. Then we'll take Javon Curse, Harrison Smith. I don't know why Javal Adams is recommending. And then we'll also take Cameron Curl. Javon Curse, 49 solo tackles, 2 interceptions. Harrison Smith, 48 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception. Cameron Curl, 45 solo tackles and a sack. Sorry, Blitz Boy, but you're not worth the Pro Bowl, in my opinion. And free safety, last, probably not least. Well, then there's also kicker and punter. Those are the only special teams I'm going over because I don't really know anything else. Safety-wise, we're going to go free safety Kevin Byard, Justin Simmons, and Micah Hyde. Kevin Byard, 5 interceptions, 32 solo tackles, and a sack. Justin Simmons, 4 interceptions, 37 solo tackles, and Micah Hyde, 3 interceptions, 31 solo tackles, and a sack. Next, we'll go NFC, Xavier McKinney, Quandre Diggs, and Adrian Amos. Xavier McKinnon, 5 interceptions, 40 solo tackles. Quandre Diggs, 4 interceptions, 41 solo tackles. And Adrian Amos, 2 interceptions, 50 solo tackles. Alright, time to do special teams. I don't know any of these pictures. Kicker. We have to pick 6 of them. And it's not really loading. We'll go Nick Folk, who is 33 for 36, is long 53. Daniel Carson, who's 27 for 30, long 56. And Justin Tucker, who is 25 for 27, with the long 66. And in the NFC, we'll go Graham Gano, who is 25 for 29, long 55. Then we'll also take Matt Gay, who is 23 for 24, long 54. And Jake Elliott, who is 22 for 24, with a long 58. Okay, now we have long snapper. I don't really know. I just say their last names and the team. It's taking quite a long time to load. Actually, no, we're not. We're just going to pick punter and call it a day. Okay, now punters. It's not really loading. We'll go Michael Dixon with 32 in the 20, average 48 yards. We'll go. Geez, he's the only NFC one for a while. Go Bradley Penning with 19 in the 20 with an average 43, and Jay Barry on the Vikings with 18 inside the 20, 47 long. And next, we'll go the AFC. Matt Pilardi, 24 inside the 20 as long as 45. Logan Cook, 24 inside the 20 for as long being 48, or his average, I mean. And Cameron Johnston with average 47 and 28 in the 20. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. And I'll see you guys next time, and let me know what players you thought I missed out on. You would take over who I took. But because I can only pick 6 people, I did leave a lot of people out, so yeah.